Hi there everyone and welcome to the Facebook live session with me Avanne Dubash. I'll walk you through how the market's shaped up and I invite any questions, queries, comments or suggestions, and remember guys, keep sharing the video as well. Well, it was pretty much a terrible Tuesday on the Lal Street. The last hour saw an intense sell-off in the equity markets, and that's when we ended pretty much close to the low point of the day by the time we shut shop. So we ended at a fresh 2018 closing low, and this is despite the fact that we did see pretty strong global cues. It was weighed down largely by banks in trade today. Most of your indices, in fact all your sectoral indices, were deep in the red by the time we shut shop. So for the Sensex, down 420 odd points or close to 1.2% by the time we shut shop, 33,317. And you had the total 5-day loss as well. We've lost out close to 1,100 odd points on the Sensex. Meantime, you had the Nifty, which shut shop sub the 10,250 mark, just a smidge below that at 10,249. So it was a pretty weak close despite the fact that we got off to a fairly decent start for the equity markets today. So looks like now you can see the bears definitely getting a very firm grip on the markets right now. Remember, we've been talking about volatility being a very dominant factor for the equity markets. It seems like that was really played off. Abhijit asks, why is there so much of a sell-off today? Any global cues? Well, interestingly, you haven't seen any global cues that have been fairly damaging for our markets in trade today. We were fairly isolated in the way we moved in terms of our in terms of the way we moved in Tuesday's trading session. The global cues weren't all that discouraging at all, and in fact, you had a pretty decent cues coming in from Asia as well as Wall Street. Ambi says that we've surpassed levels of 10,276 on the downside. What next? Well, that's an interesting question. You know, we've been talking to a lot of market experts, and it seems that the view is that for the short term, the market move is going to be fairly challenging, which means that you wouldn't see even much of a surprise if we slipped below the coveted 10,000 mark as well on the downside. So there is quite a bit of concern. It could emanate from our own markets, from the kind of flows that we're seeing. We've been weighed down by very disastrous news flow for the banks, which interestingly brings me to the kind of move that we saw in the Bank Nifty today, which came off from the high point of the day. By the time we shut shop, was deep in the red. And you know, you had the ICICI Bank Managing Director and Chief Executive Chanda Kochar, Shikhar Sharma from Axis Bank as well. We understand that they've been summoned by the SFIO as well in the PNB fraud case. So lots of question marks, lots of challenges, lots of questions on corporate governance coming in when it comes to the banking space as a whole. And that was the reason that we cracked a lot today in trade. A question coming in on Adani Enterprises. Well, no stock specific recommendations, but very crucial even to comment to monitor what's happening with the Carmichael coal project as well. And in fact, speaking of what happened in the broader end of the market and Adani Group stocks, Adani Enterprises, Adani Power were under quite a bit of pressure in trade today. Abhijit asked, shall we go long? Well, I think, Abhijit, one needs to be very stock specific in a market like this at a time on which you're seeing quite a few sell-offs, that when we're sub 10,250 as well on the index, the fact that we've lost out close to 1,100, 1,200 points in the last 5 trading sessions just goes to show that right now caution is the name of the game, that you need to be very stock specific before investing. We at ET now have some of the best market experts that we interact with, and not just that, there are concerns that the valuations are getting frothy for the mid-cap stocks as well. So all of that really going to build into the markets right now. Please send in any questions or queries that you may have, and we'll be chatting about that over the next few minutes here on the Facebook live session. Just going to walk you through some of the other stocks that came under pressure today. Reliance Power, Reliance Naval, Bank of India, Indian Bank, Syndicate Bank, Canara Bank. Really put your finger on any of those PSU banking stocks and they were down and out. In fact, the PSU banking index was the top sectoral drag in trade today. Let's run you through some of the newsmakers. You want to head up and listen to all of these. Of course, the banking stocks were down on account of concerns of some of the lead bankers being summoned by the SFIO. But then you had Reliance Infrastructure. The arm won the arbitration case. The DMRC, remember, had challenged an award of about 3,500 crore rupees. So big victory coming in for Reliance Infrastructure, and the stock duly reacted. IGL was buzzing away in trade today. As the government auctioned 86 areas for the city gas distribution this month. So that was a name that was active in trade today. Fortis Healthcare. And I think this is a question from Chintan. I think Chintan, one would need to be very cautious when it comes to this name. There have been so many concerns on the back of all of the allegations against the Singh brothers that they've cooked up their balance sheet. Daiichi has come down hard with their allegations against the company. The authorities are taking this up, and it's brewing as quite it's playing out as quite a messy legal battle. But I will say in the same breath that brokerages have mixed views. In fact, today there was a brokerage note saying that the turnaround story is imminent in Fortis Healthcare, that we can see things improve. So you may want to be a little bit cautious, perhaps, wait for things to smoothen out, play out before you actually look to put money in. Let's have more queries and sharing the video going on through this Facebook Live. Vivek asks, how long do you think this slowdown will continue? It's really tough to say, but I think, Vivek, one can't really rule out the entire 2018 being a choppy and a volatile year. So one needs to know that one needs to brace themselves for volatility for this entire year. You saw the market move and trade today. Yes, one needs to be stock specific. Yes, we will see some green shoots along the way. The macros aren't doing too badly for us, so there will be glimmers of hope. But I think that the slowdown or the choppiness or the volatility, of however you really want to describe it, is going to continue for quite some time. Another newsmaker was HDFC. The QIP 1.03 crore equity shares, a price set at about 1,825. So that was a newsmaker in the session today. Sun Pharma was in focus as ET now got access to the Form 483 at their Halol plant as well. Questions coming in on Venky's India. We've been talking to the management as well, and they've been talking about poultry, lots of new products as well coming on board. So that's a theme that you want to watch out for. Interestingly, names like Britannia or Nestle or the FMCG plays, the management commentary or Jubilant Foodworths, etc. The management commentary has been very strong. They're talking about the rural demand picking up, opening new products, new lines, and that is all going to benefit. So the rural story does really seem to be very strong. I don't really have updates, Abhijit, with respect to the Bhushan Steel stake sale. That continues to remain ongoing, and as of now, no clarity has emerged regarding the same. So to sum it up, in trade today, it was definitely fairly disastrous. By the time we shut shop, the breadth was in favor of the losing side, and you had the frontline indices which shut shop at the low point of the day. Not to mention the broader end of the market also really struggled with a 1% downtick on the mid and the small cap indices by the time we shut shop. It was primarily led by the PSU banks, but we'll have to see what's in store for our markets tomorrow and the kind of global cues as well that we garner. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I encourage you to please share the video.